The Army men's soccer team opens up Patriot League Tournament play tonight for the first time since 1996 after finishing the regular season with a 12-3-2 mark, an 8-win improvement from last year. Coach Russell Payne thinks that the right attitude has been the key to the turnaround.
Go back to where we've been all season long with that discussion, and that's, I think, our locker room. I think this year, every year you always want to recruit more and more talent into your team, and this year's recruiting class, you want it to be better than last year's, and next year you want it to be better than this year's. And so that's always the aim of the coaching staff. But on top of that, or even bigger than that, I think along with the talent came the right attitude and mentality in the locker room, and a closeness and togetherness that we've been working toward year after year after year. But I think this year the reason for the turnaround, so to speak, is because of the mentality and the relationships in the locker room.
Army is looking to bounce back after a tough 1-0 overtime loss to Navy at PPL Park last Friday night in the Army-Navy Cup. Navy connecting with just over 5 minutes to go in the second overtime.
The Navy game ended with a foul 30 yards from our own goal. I think we tuned out for a minute in terms of our awareness and marking up and knowing our assignments and roles, and that's what hurt us. That's what ended the game. Now, before that, there are opportunities for us to have, taken control of the game in certain areas where we were a little bit more sloppy in possession than we normally have been. Maybe you call it anxiety, you call it nerves, or maybe just you call it lack of technique for other reasons. But I think we can be a little bit better in terms of our possession and everything else for the next game.
Tonight, the Black Knights are in Annapolis to face off with Holy Cross, a team that they lost to 2-1 earlier this season. Coach Payne thinks it will come down to finishing the team's opportunities.
I think the difference against Holy Cross this time around is we really have to do a better job at capitalizing on the scoring chances that we created. I think last game, it was an up-and-down game. Both teams had a lot of chances both ways. We've really got to do a better job this time around in creating the chances in the similar way we did last time. But we've been working tirelessly on being better within 30 yards and within 16 yards of goal even. On the defensive side, we want to give up a little less space than we gave up in the last game. In terms of some of our recovery runs, in terms of some of our pressing in our half of the field, and they've got some really good players. They're going to have players that are going to create regardless of what you do. We've got to be okay with that and be disciplined without the ball, be disciplined when we don't have the ball at times. Last game we allowed them to score because of a foul and then a set piece. That's how, unfortunately, how the last game we played in it as well. So, that's something we continuously with a young group have to be better at and have to correct.
You can watch the game live for free on the Patriot League Network. The winner will move on to the championship at Navy on Sunday. That's your Patriot League preview. For Night Vision, I'm Nick DeSanctis.